Hello, good day everyone. So this video lesson is all about the T distribution or the student's T distribution. So the T distribution yan is also called student's T distribution. So it's a family of distributions that look almost identical to the normal distribution curve, okay? Only a bit shorter and stouter, okay? So later on we will show you um, the distribution for this one, okay, comparing to the normal distribution. So the t distribution is used instead of the normal distribution when you have small samples. Okay, so ginagamit natin tong t distribution kapag meron tayong mga given or meron tayong small sample size. Okay, so the larger the sample size, the more the t distribution looks like the normal distribution. Okay, so for sample sizes, okay, larger than 20, okay, or more degrees of freedom, for example, so later makikita ninyo or malalaman ninyo kung ano itong sinasabi natin na degrees of freedom dito, okay? So, the distribution is almost exactly like the normal distribution, okay? So, makikita natin yan later. So, the larger, okay, the size, okay, the more we have degrees of freedom, the more na it will be parang magiging katulad siya, okay, ng normal distribution or ng normal curve natin. So, since yung normal curve natin may mga properties siya, we also have this properties of t distribution. So, ano ba yung mga properties ng t distribution? So, sabi dito, first, like the normal distribution, the t distribution has a smooth shape. Okay? So, it's like this lang, 'di ba? Yung normal curve natin, yung shape niya, ayan. Yan, pa-bell lang, pa-smooth siya, ganyan. So, ganyan lang din yung ating t-distribution. Yun lang, shorter or stouter lang siya. Okay? Ibig sabihin, mas payat or mas mababa. Okay? Parang, for example, ganyan yung normal curve natin. Yung t-distribution natin, parang pa ganito siya. Yan. Or, sometimes pa ganyan siya. Okay? So, ulitin natin. Ibahin ko yung pen. So, kung yung normal distribution natin ay ganito yung itsura niya, okay? Yung ating t-distribution naman, it's either paganyan siya, okay? Stouter, then pwede din siyang shorter, parang paganyan siya, okay? So, ganyan yung tsura ng t-distribution natin. Mamaya may mas malino tayong drawing, okay? So, next, like the normal distribution, the t-distribution is symmetric. Okay? O, same lang siya. Gaya ng drino ko nga dyan. Okay? Yung height lang. Okay? Yung pinagkaiba nila. And yung width then. So, if you think about folding it in half, ayan, at the mean, so each side will be the same. So, ano yung sukat natin, di ba? It's like parang normal curve, di ba? Ang sukat niya, 0.5 per half, right? So, ganun siya. Next, like a standard normal distribution or yung z distribution natin, this t distribution has a mean of 0. So, ganun lang din siya. Meron siya sa gitna, mean niya ay 0. Okay? So, may mean siya na 0. So, the normal distribution assumes that the population standard deviation is known. So, the t distribution does not make this assumption. Okay? Next, the t-distribution is defined by the degrees of freedom or yung DF na tinatawag natin. So, yung symbol natin for this is yung DF. Okay? So, later makikita natin kung paano ba tong degrees of freedom na ito. So, these are related to the sample size. Okay? Then, the t-distribution is most useful for small sample sizes. So, when the population standard deviation is not known or both. Okay? Then, lastly, as the sample size increases, okay, the t-distribution becomes more similar to a normal distribution. So, gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, habang tumataas yung sample size natin, the more na nagiging mas kamukha nung t-distribution natin yung normal distribution natin. So, those are the properties of t-distribution. Okay, so let's move on with this one, degree of freedom. So this refers to the maximum number of logically independent values which vary in the data sample. Okay? So the t-distribution is determined by its degree of freedom. Yan yung sabi ko sa inyo, yung symbol niya is yung df. So the degree of freedom depends on the number of parameters to be estimated. So it is often denoted by df, which is equal to 1 less than the sample size. So nakukuha natin, so ang formula natin in finding the degree of freedom of a particular data is equal to n minus 1, or yung sample size given natin minus 1. So, babawasan natin ng isa. Tapos, yun na yung magiging degree of freedom natin. So, it describes the shape of the distribution. So, as the degrees of freedom increases, the t-distribution resembles a normal distribution. So, parang siya yung nagdi-dictate ng ating magiging shape or magiging shape ng distribution natin. Okay? So, ayan siya. Okay? So, tingnan nyo tong graph natin. So, as you can see here, ito yung ating standard normal. Okay? Itong tinuturo ng arrow na to. Okay? Tapos, dito meron tayong dalawa. So, ito yung um, degree of freedom, yung distribution natin which has a degree of 13. So, as you can see, ayan siya. 'Di ba? Nandito siya. Ito yung tinuturo niya. Tapos, yung isa naman, t-distribution natin, which has a degree of freedom ng 5. So, as you can see, mas ano siya, mas parang shorter siya. So, ano yung mas malapit dito sa standard normal natin? Okay, so, itong 13. So, ibig sabihin, habang tumataas nga, pag naging mas tumaas pa tong 13, maging 20, may chance na maabot niya or mas maging kamukha niya yung ating standard normal curve na tinatawag o yung normal distribution natin na tinatawag. Okay? So, ganun yung concept nun. Okay. So, in here, ayan, sabi dito, using the t-table, okay, determine the t value or the critical value corresponding to each given level of confidence or significance level and degrees of freedom. Okay? So, in here, um, titingnan natin, okay, yung kanilang corresponding t value. So, for number 1, we have here, so paano ba magtingin, okay, ng corresponding t value given yung class size natin at saka yung, or I mean yung sample size natin, yung n natin, okay, and yung confidence level, okay. So, paano ba magtingin, okay? So, dito, ang gagawin natin, okay, kapag given yung n, hahanapin muna natin yung degree of freedom. Kasi as you can see here, dito sa ating column na nauna ito, wait lang, yung pen ko. As you can see ito, nandito yung ating degree of freedom. Okay? So, kailangan muna natin kunin yung degree of freedom. At saka alam natin na yung degree of freedom natin ay nakukuha by, yan, subtracting 1 from the sample size. Okay? So, sa letter A natin, dun sa nauna natin, ang sample size natin ay 25. Okay? So, ang magiging degree of freedom natin dito ay 25 minus 1, magiging degree of freedom natin ay 24. Right? So, yung degree of freedom natin dito ay 24. Kasi, again, minus lang natin yung 25 sa 1. So, 25 minus 1. Tapos, given yung confidence level na 99%. Okay? So, dito, meron tayong two ways. Okay? Pero since dito sa table natin, given na, para hindi kayo mahirapan, ang tingnan nyo na lang dito sa baba. Okay? Pwede kayong tumingin actually dito sa may taas dito, pero yun, ituro ko muna since given naman yung 99% dyan. So, pwede kayong tumingin dun sa 99% na directly, tapos hanapin niyo yung 24 na degree of freedom dito. So, 24 nandito siya. Okay? Tapos, i-connect nyo lang din para kayong nag-z-table lang din. Okay? Tapos, kung saan sila nag-meet, ayan yung 99%. Kung saan sila nag-meet, ibig sabihin yun yung kanilang t value. So, dito sila nag-meet, ibig sabihin, yung t-value natin dito ay 2.797. Okay? So, ganun lang siya kung paano tumingin. 2.797. Okay? Let's have the next one. Okay? Ganun lang din. So, the given is the sample size which is 23 and then we have 95% confidence level. So dito, since hindi given yung degree of freedom natin, kailangan natin kunin ulit. So yung degree of freedom again, minus 1 lang sa sample size. So 23 minus 1 magiging 22. So hanapin natin yung 22 dito, ayun siya, and then 95%, nandito na siya sa baba. Okay, para hindi na kayo mahirapan. Then, i-connect lang ninyo kung saan sila magmi-meet, then nandoon yung ating t value. So, saan sila nag-meet? Sa 2.074. So, yun na yung kanilang t value. Okay? Next is yung letter C natin. Okay? Sa letter C naman, okay, we have the degree of freedom 70, the sample size is 17, so ang magiging degree of freedom natin ay 16, minus 1 lang. Then 95% confidence, so we have 16 here, tapos we have 95, ito ulit siya. So i-connect natin saan kaya sila mag-meet. So dito. So we have t value. Yung t-value nito ay equal kay 2.120. Okay? So, dyan sila nag-meet. Yung ganun lang kasimple. Okay, ito. Paano naman kaya kapag ganito yung given natin? Yung degree of freedom and yung parang A symbol natin dyan. Okay, yung parang alpha niya. Okay? So, yan lang yung nagdedetermine. Okay? Kung one-tailed or two-tailed. Okay? So, dito kapag given yan, yung degree of freedom wala nang problema kasi 8 na agad. So, punta na kayo agad sa 8. Okay? Then, yung point, um, point 10 natin. Okay? So, ito, pwede nyo rin gawin yung sa kanina. Dito tayo tumingin sa may baba dito. Pwede kayong dito na tumingin. Ang gagawin nyo lang, kasi 0.10 yung given dyan. O pag kinonvert nyo yan sa percentage, di ba 10%? Okay? Pero since yan yung given, ima-minus nyo siya. 100 minus 10, that is 90%. So parang itong equivalent ng confidence level nito ay 90%. So pwede kayong tumingin na dito. Okay? O, pwede dito. So parehas lang yung makukuha natin. Tingnan ninyo ha. So 90 for example, 90%, tapos 8, saan sila magmi-meet? Sa 1.860. Okay? So, yung t-value na nakuha natin ay 1.860. Okay? Pero pag ginamit nyo naman yung 0.10, okay? Tapos, considering, okay, na one-tail ito, one-tailed, i-divide nyo yung 0.10 sa 2. Okay? So, ang formula natin, okay, is alpha divided by 2. So, kapag yung 0.10 ninyo, dinivide nyo sa 2, ang makukuha nyong sagot ay 0.05. So, titingin kayo dito sa one-tailed kasi one-tailed yung gagamitin natin. So, nasaan dyan yung 0.05? Nandito. Okay? So, titingin kayo dyan. So, saan sila magbibit? Yung 8 tsaka yung 0.05. So, doon lang din sa 1.860. So, same lang sila. So, kahit anong gamitin yung way doon. Pwede nyong i-minus sa 100 o 100 minus 10, 90. So, tingin na kayo agad dun sa 90%. Okay? So, yun. For letter D. For letter E, ito naman again, sample size yung given. So, we have n is equal to 28. So, ibig sabihin, yung degree of freedom natin ay 27. Okay? Minus 1. So, tingin tayo sa ating table, T-table. So, we have, burahin ko lang saglit. We have 27. Okay? 27. Then, ito. So, kayo kung ano ang gagamitin ninyo. Pero dito, pwede nyo gamitin na, i-minus na. 100 minus, ano ba ang percentage ang 0.05? Diba 5%? So, 95. Okay? So, titingin kayo sa 95 dito ngayon. Tapos, kung saan sila magmi-meet. Okay? So, nag-meet sila sa 2.052. Okay? Ganon lang din. And, kapag ginamit nyo naman yung ganito na formula natin, yung alpha over 2, yung two-tailed formula natin, okay? Ang makukuha nyo dyan ay yung 0.025. So, ito siya. Okay? Anyway, kahit ito, yung kunin ninyo kapag two-tailed yung pinag-uusapan, is ganun lang din. Katapat niya lang din ito. Ayan. Pag tinapat nyo siya dyan, makukuha nyo lang din yung 2.052. So, same lang siya. Okay? And then, for letter F, okay, isulat ko na lang yung sagot and then you analyze it there na lang. So, dapat ganito rin yung makuha yung sagot ha. I-pause nyo yung video, then try nyo kunin yung F to J. Pero I will write here the answer na. So, for letter F, okay, ang makukuha nating T value dyan ay 1.717. Okay? For letter G, we have T value is equal to 3.106. So, tingnan na lang ninyo dyan. Then, for letter H, we have 2.131. And then, for letter I, we have 2.045. And lastly, we have here 4.032. So, i-check na lang ninyo or answeran ninyo. I-pause nyo yung video, then you try to answer on your own. Okay? So, yan yung makukuha natin na t-value ng mga given natin. Okay? So, ganun lang kung paano kumuha ng t-value, okay, using our t-table. Okay? Okay. So, let's now move on to this part. Okay? So, sample, or I mean small sample confidence interval for mean when standard or the population standard deviation is unknown. So, if sample mean and standard deviation are the mean and standard deviation of the random, okay, ito pala yung symbol niya. Ayan. Okay, symbol niya. So, mean siya at saka standard deviation ng random sample. Okay, so sample siya. Pag ganito yung symbol, ibig sabihin sample siya. Okay, kapag yung ganito and then yung ganyan, ibig sabihin sa population yon. Okay, ginagamit siya kapag population yung pinag-uusapan. So, ayan siya. If sample mean and yung yan, sample standard deviation of a random sample size, which is yon, n is less than 30 from an approximate normal population with a known standard deviation, okay, a 100, okay, times 1 minus the alpha percent confidence interval, okay, for the population mean is given by, so ito yung ating magiging parang formula, okay, in finding this small sample or in finding the confidence interval of this small sample. So, the lower limit, ayan siya, involved pa rin yung ating lower limit and upper limit. So, parang interval lang din to. Okay, yung nauna nating topic na interval estimation. So, the mean should be greater than the lower limit and less than the upper limit. Okay, so it is equal to the sample mean minus, okay, the t-value. So, ang ibig sabihin nito ay yung ating t-value. So, titingin tayo doon sa ating t-table times, okay, the standard deviation, okay, or the sample standard deviation over the square root of n or the sample size, okay. Then, kapag upper limit, ganun lang din pero papalitan lang ng sign, okay. So, ito yung ating formula. So, pakitandaan. Okay, so ayan siya. So, example number 1. So, we have here the given. Okay, we have a sample mean of 25, standard deviation of 6, class sample size of 20, and 90% confidence interval. Okay, So, first, okay, i-write natin yung um, formula natin. So, lower limit, tapos yung ating mean, then upper limit, write natin sana kumasya, is equal to the sample mean minus, okay, yung ating t sub a over 2, yan yung ating t value, okay, times s, or the standard deviation over square root of n. Then, ayan, sana kumasya talaga siya. Sample mean plus t sub a sub 2 times s over square root of n. Okay? Ayan. So, first, kailangan nating hanapin muna yung t value natin. O paano ulit natin hinahanap yung t value? 'Di ba? Tumitingin tayo sa degree of freedom natin. Pero since walang degree of freedom dyan, yung n yung given, ima-minus natin. So, degree of freedom is equal to n minus 1. So, ibig sabihin, we have 20 minus 1, which is 19. Okay? So, titingin tayo dito sa 19, tapos yung given natin ay 90%. Okay? So, pwede na kayong tumingin directly dito. So, saan sila mag-meet? 19 tsaka si 90% sa 1.729. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung t-value natin, okay, yung t natin ay 1.729. Okay? So, yun yung isa-substitute natin dito. So, that will be 25 minus 1.729, okay, times our standard deviation is 6 over square root of 20. Okay? Then, ayan, copy lang natin. Sana kumasya siya. So, 25, hindi ata kasya, plus 1.729. Okay, extend ko na lang dito. Times 6 over square root of 20. Okay? So, pag sinolve natin yan, pag kinalculate natin, manually man yan or in calculator, ayan. So, ang lalabas dyan, okay, pag i-input nyo ha, ito lang yung i-input ninyo sa calculator muna, yung may minus, tapos susunod ay yung ito. Okay? Plus and minus lang naman yung papalitan ninyo. So, ang makukuha ninyo dapat na sagot dyan ay 22.689, okay, is less than the mean. And then, yung mean natin, less than siya sa 27.320. Okay? So, therefore, okay, we are 90%, okay? So, therefore, we are 90% confident, ito na yung magiging final answer ninyo, confident that the mean will be between, between 22.689 and 27.320. Okay? So, yun ang magiging final answer natin. Okay? Okay. Next, this one, example number 2. So, a random sample of 15 students was selected from a population size of 100, okay, in a certain dormitory. So, the mean of weekly expenditures of the sample students is 400 pesos with 17.50 pesos standard deviations. So, construct a 95% confidence interval for the average amount of expenditure of the resident of the dormitory. So, in here, hindi pa siya direct na given kung alin dyan yung sample size, kung alin dyan yung standard deviation. Okay? So, i-identify nyo. So, dapat alam nyo mag-identify, of course. Okay? So, let's identify the given first. So, inahin natin yung sample size since siya yung nauna dyan. So, yung N natin is yung 15 students. Okay? Yung sample mean natin, sabi dyan, the mean of weekly expenditure, so yung 400 yung sample mean natin. Okay? Then, the sample standard deviation ay yung 17.50. So, 17.50. Then, ano yung next natin dyan? Yung confidence level. Okay? So, meron tayong confidence level na 95%. Yan. So, i-ano ko na lang ha, i-shortcut ko. CL is confidence level. Okay? So, 95%. So, bali, ang kukunin natin, syempre, yung degree of freedom natin. Kasi yun yung kailangan natin dito. So, yung degree of freedom natin, okay, degree of freedom is equal to n minus 1. So, that is 15 minus 1. So, our degree of freedom is 14. So, ibig sabihin, tingin tayo sa 14 dito, tingin tayo sa 95%. So, kung saan sila nag-meet, saan kaya sila mag-meet? Ayan, nandito siya. Nag-meet sila sa 2 point. So, yung t-value natin ay 2.145. Okay, so 2.145. So, after nyan, isa-substitute na natin siya doon sa formula natin, which is, ayun, yung formula natin, lower limit, ganyan siya, mean per limit, okay, and then, yung formula natin, i-direct na natin i-substitute kasi baka hindi siya kumasya. So, yung sample mean natin is 400, okay, minus, what is our t value? We have 2.145 times the standard deviation 17.50 over square root of n, which is 15. Okay? So, yan yung lower limit natin. Okay? Then, we have here the upper limit. So, isulat ko lang din dito. Yung upper limit, ganun lang din naman, plus lang yung mapapalitan natin. So, 2.145 times 17.50 over square root of 15. Okay? So, again, plus lang naman yung napalitan. So, ang makukuha natin dito pag kinompute na natin siya ay 390.30. Okay? Then, yung upper limit natin ay 409.70. Okay? So, i-check nyo siya, i-calculator ninyo, or kayo bahala kung gusto nyo ng mano-mano. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, therefore, okay, we are, ayan, confident. Okay? Or, we are confident, we are 95% confident, therefore, we are 95% confident that the average weekly expenditure, okay, that the average weekly expenditure, ayan, pakiintindi na lang, ayan, expenditure is between, okay, yung sagot natin, 390.30 pesos to 409.70 pesos. Okay? So, yan na yung magiging final answer natin. So, ganun lang kung paano siya gagawin. Para lang siyang interval estimation, yun nga lang na iba yung pagtitingnan natin ng table. Okay? Ito ang gagamitin natin ay yung T-table natin. Okay? So, that's it for this video lesson. Hope you understand. Okay? So, thank you.